Our top story at this moment, Centre has filed a reply on Kohinoor diamond's return to India in the Supreme Court. The government today told the Apex Court that the British did not steal the diamond. It was handed to them in 1869 and hence the government cannot seek its return as it was a gift. The Centre in its reply also said that seeking its return would open a Pandora's box of sorts as other nations whose articles are with India would also seek their return. But the Supreme Court countered the Centre, saying that India hasn't stolen any items from any other countries to draw a comparison, and there's a need for the Apex Court to take a strong view on the Kohinoor's return. The Centre has been directed to file a detailed reply in 6 weeks' time. We've got Atir Khan joining us live with all the latest. Atir, the Kohinoor diamond and this entire matter is now subject matter of discourse all over again, but it now seems that the Centre has cleared the air on its official position as far as Kohinoor diamond is concerned, saying that it was a gift and it was not stolen, which means it cannot be brought back.
Well, that's right. The government, especially the Ministry of Culture, has now clarified the stand in the Supreme Court. It says that it will be inappropriate to stake claim for bringing back Kohinoor. The reason being it wasn't either taken forcibly or neither was it stolen. And if such claim is made, then other countries will also take the cue and make similar claims in India. So it will be inappropriate to make that claim. But the Supreme Court said, if the government wants to, this petition cannot be dismissed like that unless, the court is fully convinced. And that is why the court has given government time to file its reply. They would also know what the Ministry of External Affairs has to say on this. Sanket, so far only the Ministry of Culture has said what it had to in the Supreme Court.
That's right, and also this point, Atir, that where the Supreme Court said that this comparison that if we ask for the Kohinoor from Britain, then perhaps other countries will ask for gifts that were given to India. The Supreme Court did not seem to agree with this assessment.
Well, that's right. You see, the reason being that, Supreme Court also told government once, this is dismissed, then the doors for, further, intervention of court as far as bringing back Kohinoor is concerned will be closed. So it is taking abundant precaution, and it is also giving space to government to stake claim if it wants to. But the government has already taken a view on this. The British Prime Minister David Cameron has already said that, he doesn't believe in returnism, and he says that it will be inappropriate to return it because the Kohinoor is now the part of Crown Jewel, and it is now in the Tower of London where millions of people go. So the government, the Ministry of Culture has taken this view, but perhaps in the next hearing, we'll also get to know what the Ministry of External Affairs has to say on this issue.
Absolutely, Atir, do stay on with us. We've got Mr. Tushar Gandhi joining us on the phone line for more on this. Now, Mr. Gandhi, you must have heard about the official position that the government has taken as far as the Kohinoor diamond is concerned. The government says that it was a gift, so that's why it cannot be brought back, as legally or technically it was not stolen.
No, well, if it's a ransom is not considered to be extortion, then the government is right. But I believe that it was taken as a ransom to safeguard the life of the prince, and it was never ever willingly given up or gifted as it is being claimed. I think the government needs to do its homework much more diligently before it makes such irresponsible statements, because in this doing this, they are almost legitimizing an illegitimate act.
Absolutely, Mr. Gandhi. And also, the Supreme Court does not seem to be readily accepting the Centre's version, because we saw the Supreme Court said to one point where the Centre said that if we go ahead and press with this line, then other countries will also come and perhaps claim or reclaim the gifts that India has. The Supreme Court does not agree with this comparison.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Any rational person shouldn't. I agree with the fact that it's going to be impossible to get the Kohinoor back. But that doesn't mean we give up our claim to its ownership. We must always keep that up, because we cannot be partners to an act of immorality and an act of diplomatic stealing. And this is where the government has to decide whether they are going to go strictly by the legalities of the issue or they are going to consider the morality of the issue also.
So, do you think, Mr. Gandhi, my final question to you, do you think that by taking a position like this, the central government may have compromised India's position, at least the campaign that was there to get the Kohinoor back, by admitting in a court that, see, it was a gift, we can't do anything?
No, it is very irresponsible for any element of the central government to have taken this kind of a stand. We must not, as I said, even if it is a practical impossibility, we must not give up. Many other countries who have lost national treasures in a similar manner, knowing that they are not going to be able to get them back, have not given up their claim of ownership to those things. And we must also behave in a similar manner, because finally it's a question of national pride.
Okay, Mr. Gandhi, I would urge you to please stay on with us, because we have Lord Meghnad Desai at this moment, and going by his position that he has taken on this issue in the past, I believe he'll have a contrarian view to what you have. Lord Meghnad Desai, what is your opinion on what the Indian government, the centre, has said in the Supreme Court? They say it was a gift.
It was a gift by Dalip Singh, who was a son of Ranjit Singh and who spent the rest of his life in England. He gave it to Queen Victoria because Queen Victoria is very fond of him, and so he gave it to Queen Victoria. Now that is the information as far as I know, and I think that even if the Kohinoor was to come back, it would go back to Lahore, not to Delhi, because Lahore was the capital of Ranjit Singh, and therefore Kohinoor, if belongs to anybody, belongs to Pakistan.
No,
belongs to Pakistan, not to India.
Okay, Lord Desai, I agree with that assessment, but Mr. Gandhi and many like him feel that this particular stream of history, that it was a gift, is something which is being challenged by a few. They say it was not a gift. I mean, some look at it as extortion also.
Listen, Kohinoor as a bauble is utterly useless. If it was in India, it is not going to feed a single more person. It is not going to take one poor person out of poverty. So it's all a matter of pride and conceit. It's all these baubles have been robbed by somebody from somebody else, and whoever is the last possessor owns it. Ultimately nobody earned the Kohinoor by hard work. So I think this obsession with Kohinoor is, I think, completely misplaced. We should be proud when there is no poverty in India, not if Kohinoor is in India or in Delhi or in Prague.
Lord Desai, please do stay on with us. Mr. Tushar Gandhi, you heard Lord Desai's view. What do you have to say? Because obviously he feels that it coming back to India or not is immaterial.
I agree. It's not going to feed any, malnutrition child. It's not going to decrease the poverty of the land or anything. But there are certain sentimental issues, and there is no reason to surrender on those sentimental issues. Lord Desai has to be loyal to the throne. He lives over there, so he would have this kind of...
I don't have to be loyal to anybody. I don't have to be loyal to anybody.
Kind of thing.
Hello. I don't have to be loyal to anybody.
Dalip Singh paid blood money to be kept alive in London. Victoria was fond of him before because he handed over the Kohinoor to her, and that itself shows that it was extortion and not a gift of love.
Now, Lord Desai, it's very clear that there is a contrarian view, isn't it? There is a view. Don't you think that this should be reflected in the discourse? And not just assume that it was a gift.
I respect all these views. They are in the majority. People love baubles. They think national pride depends upon diamonds and necklaces and crowns. I think national pride depends upon getting the people out of poverty, giving women a decent life, and abolishing untouchability. I think that is much more...
No, Lord Desai, why can't both coexist?
Than Kohinoor. But if they want the Kohinoor, let them have Kohinoor. Who cares? I owe no loyalty to either the crown or to anybody else. I owe loyalty to clear thinking. That's only loyalty I have.
Mr. Gandhi, would you want to respond to that?
No, I agree with him that it is not a critical issue for India at the moment, but it is an issue of sentiments, and sentimentality has there is a space for sentimentality, and it cannot be just brushed off as trivial pursuits. There is a deep sense over there. There is a deep sense of national pride, and there are people who take pride in those kind of things.
No.
What I'm saying is we should not surrender our claim. I'm not saying that we give up everything else and fight to get the Kohinoor back. What I'm saying is we should never ever surrender our claim to it. We should always say that we believe that it rightfully belongs to the heritage of Ranjit Singh, and that is India, and that's the way it should be.
Lord Desai, this is a claim that people are making, and you know the argument that you are placing. I just want to perhaps add to the argument that you are making and ask you a question by equating two instances. You say that how is this going to change things on the ground? Is it going to eliminate poverty? Well, in that case, there are many historic corrections that people want with old revelations. Say for instance Subhash Chandra Bose declassified files. I'm sure none of those files, even if they reveal anything adverse, are going to remove poverty in this country, but still people want to know. Similarly in this case also.
I mean, what is more with the Subhash Chandra Bose file, it is not even adding to our whether he died or not. Of course he died, but all this, okay, I understand. I understand there are a lot of emotional and sentimental reasons why we have policy, and good luck. If Mr. Gandhi, if Prasad Gandhi doesn't want to give up our claim to Kohinoor, fine. If India wants to UK to reclaim the Kohinoor, fine. I mean, we would love to be, invaded, because then we can give up our responsibility to India, and India can feed the British, which would be very nice.
Okay.
But I think the thing is that these are irrational urges, and so to pursue them, I think is a waste of time. But there we are.
Okay.
I'm in a minority. I'm in a very small minority.
Okay. Irrational urge is what Lord Meghnad Desai feels this is. Thanks very much, Mr. Tushar Gandhi, as well as Lord Meghnad Desai, for joining us with all the latest.
Well, a breather not only for the government of India, but also the citizens of the national capital. The Taxi Auto Union have called off their one-day strike that was...